The UK has experienced a surge in net migration in the past year, reaching a record high of 504,000 in the year ending June. This means that there were 504,000 more people arriving to live in the UK for at least a year than leaving. This is the highest level of net migration since the Second World War, and it has been influenced by several migration events that occurred in the wake of the coronavirus, COVID-19, pandemic and the transition from the EU. One of these events was the introduction of a new immigration system following the end of free movement between the UK and the EU on December 31. The new system treats EU and non-EU citizens equally and requires them to meet certain criteria to work, study or join family members in the UK. The new system also includes a points-based route for skilled workers, a health and care visa for eligible professionals, and a graduate route for international students who have completed a degree in the UK. The new immigration system has had an impact on the composition and patterns of migration to and from the UK. For example, EU immigration has declined by 28% in the year ending June 2022 compared with the previous year, while EU emigration has increased by 17%. This has resulted in negative net migration of EU citizens, meaning that more EU citizens left the UK than arrived. On the other hand, non-EU immigration has increased by 117% in the same period, driven by a rise in international students and people seeking protection. This has resulted in positive net migration of non-EU citizens, meaning that more non-EU citizens arrived in the UK than left. Another migration event that affected UK net migration was the ongoing support for Ukrainian nationals and others requiring protection. In response to the escalating conflict in eastern Ukraine, the UK government launched a visa support scheme in March 2021 to offer temporary residence permits to eligible Ukrainian nationals and their dependents who were already in the UK. The scheme also allowed them to apply for settlement after 5 years. According to the ONS, an estimated 170,000 Ukrainian nationals arrived in the UK under this scheme in the year ending June 2022, making Ukraine the top country of origin for non-EU immigrants. A third migration event that contributed to UK net migration was the reception of Afghan refugees following the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan in August. The UK government committed to resettle up to 20,000 vulnerable Afghans under a new scheme called Afghan Citizens Resettlement Scheme, ACRS, as well as to provide safe passage for British nationals and eligible Afghans who worked with the UK government or military under a separate scheme called Afghan Relocations and Assistance Policy, ARAP. According to the ONS, an estimated 15,000 Afghan nationals arrived in the UK under these schemes in the year ending June. A fourth migration event that had an impact on UK net migration was the arrival of Hong Kong British national, overseas, BNO, passport holders and their dependents under a new visa route that opened in January. The route allows eligible BNO citizens and their family members to live, work and study in the UK for up to 5 years, with a possible pathway to citizenship. After 6 years, the route was introduced by the UK government as a response to China's imposition of a national security law on Hong Kong that undermined its autonomy and freedoms. According to the ONS, an estimated 76,000 Hong Kong BNO citizens and their dependents arrived in the UK under this route in the year ending June. These 4 migration events have had significant implications for the density and diversity of the UK population. They have increased the overall size of the population by adding more than 500,000 people in 1 year. They have also changed its composition by increasing the share of non-EU nationals, especially from Ukraine, Afghanistan and Hong Kong. They have also affected its distribution by creating new patterns of settlement across different regions and local areas of the UK. These changes may have various social and economic impacts on different aspects of life in the UK, such as housing, education, healthcare, labor market, culture and community cohesion. These impacts may vary depending on how long these migrants stay in the UK, how well they integrate into society, and how they contribute to their host communities.